Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties with our camera here. We were talking about the Illinois point guard position for next year,
Right.
and we've talked about this quite a bit, whether it's going to be the incoming freshman Tracy Abrams,
Right.
if they're going to move Brandon Paul there, or if they're going to kind of give Joseph Bertrand the baptism by fire thing and just throw him in there, even after redshirt year and then not getting a lot of minutes this year.
Yeah.
If they're going to say, hey, here it is, it's yours to lose type thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, interesting scenario for Illinois.
Yeah, I mean, I think another option you can even throw in there is Jeremy Richmond at the point guard. Play a point forward role, kind of like a Scottie Pippen. I think he has the ability to do that. It's just, does he want to do that?
Yeah.
I think out of all four, he's the best passer and could be the best pure point guard. But I think for Illinois, probably his abilities are used in better areas as far as scoring and out on the wing.
Are you looking at him as maybe like an Evan Turner type player?
Right, exactly. A guy that can distribute the ball, but at the same time get his points. And I think, at 6'7", he has the ability to do both, to distribute for his teammate and to score on his own.
Exactly, and he's very versatile, can hit the outside shot, can go inside on mismatches.
Right.
Score with his back to the basket, very athletic. Interesting concept there for Illinois here in the coming years. So, speaking of which, we just talked about Tracy Abrams. Let's talk a little bit about the recruits coming in for Illinois next year.
Right. I think it all begins with the point man, Tracy Abrams. Tracy Abrams from Mount Carmel High School in Chicago, Illinois. I look at him more as a scoring point, not the pure point that Illinois probably needs coming in. He has not actually had to play as much point guard in high school and on his AAU team as I would have liked to see. He had a great point guard in Chasen Randall on his AAU team, the Illinois Wolves. On his high school team, he's been asked to be a scorer after losing so many starters. And I think he'll be a good leader for this team. He's a tough, hard-nosed point guard that can just get it done. Whether he's going to play point or two or a combo, I think he's more of a combo. But I expect big things out of Tracy. At the two, you got Devin Langford. I had a chance to see Devin play a couple games this year. He was sick. He didn't play the best, but you can see the potential there. He's really long. He's really athletic, and he had a nice skill set for a two guard. The wing on this class is Michael Henry. I know it's a guy you really like. Michael Henry's a big wing, physically just a beast. I don't think you understand how big this kid is until you actually see him in person. I saw him at the shootout at the Hall, scored 32 and 8 on Devin Langford. He's going to be the scorer of this class. He's going to be the guy that Illinois is going to look to put the ball in the hoop from the wing position. At power forward, they're bringing in a kid named Mike Shaw, one of the biggest recruits Illinois signed in a while. Yoshi loves him.
Very excited about Mike Shaw. I love watching him play. Just physical, athletic, big, 6'8", 220, just a monster of a kid. I was a guy that personally loved Sean Pruitt, and I love those big guys who play Big Ten basketball like that. I cannot wait to watch him play.
Yeah, and I think he's a key recruit for Illinois because Bruce had to go long on his recruitment. He got Jeremy early, but Mike Shaw was the guy that had to fight tooth and nail against other Big Ten powers until the very end, and they got him. And I think that was a huge get for Illinois. And then the final member of this five-man class that some have coined the new Fab Five for Illinois is Nana Egwu. I really like Nana's game. He's a versatile player at the center position. He can block shots. He's still developing his offensive game. He's a little bit raw, but I have seen development in his post game as far as his skill set. He's got a nice jump hook. His defense is where he really stands out, though. Blocking shots, altering shots, and being a monster on the defensive end.
That's good, yeah. Just a quick question about Devin Langford. Is he maybe the type of player that Mike Davis is, not in the sense of position, but a kid we don't know a lot about because he's out of state and just kind of develops over time and becomes a very solid player for the Illinois basketball team?
Right. I think most Illinois fans focus their energy on the state of Illinois recruits.
Exactly, because you know about them. I mean, you hear about these schools, you know about them, but going out of state and getting a guy like Devin Langford, who's a little under the radar to Illinois fans.
Yeah.
Is he going to be that kind of player that develops for Illinois?
I think he will. I think he will. I mean, I remember when they recruited Mike Davis, I was like, who's this guy from Virginia?
Exactly.
But when you get a guy like Devin Langford, I think he brings a lot to the table, and I think he fits in well with this class overall, and he can mesh with a Michael Henry. And I talked to Henry about that after their game against each other. He feels that they can play together and be successful together.
It's exciting time for Illinois basketball. It's talking about recruitment and guys down the road, I know we talk a lot about that class of 2013.
Right.
You know, what's that guy's name? Oh yeah, Jabari Parker.
Yeah.
He's not too bad, is he?
Yeah, I think 2013 is the class that Illinois fans have pointed to and said, this is where we can change history. This is where we can take this program to another level. Jabari Parker is the lead man in this class. Jabari Parker is a 6'7" small forward from Simeon Career Academy in Chicago. He's versatile. He can get it done. I've compared him to Paul Pierce. He's not overly athletic, but he just gets the job done. His skill set is so high for a kid his age. It's phenomenal. He can play multiple positions, and he's just a winner. I mean, he's proven that both on the AAU circuit and on the high school circuit with Simeon. He won a state championship as a freshman. They're the favorites to do it again this year.
Yeah, that Simeon team's pretty loaded, isn't it? Them and
Right.
Whitney Young up there, kind of the powerhouses up in Chicago. Both of them pumping out recruits left and right. You know,
Right.
what we talked about, Simeon has 10 guys with D1 scholarships,
Right.
and Whitney Young's got 7.
Right.
You know, so powerhouses out of Chicago. Chicago really leading them. It's always been a hotbed for players, but
Right.
here recently it just seems like just pumping out great talent.
Right. I mean, Whitney Young and Simeon take the lead on that. Simeon's got another couple kids Illinois is looking at. You got to look at Steve Taylor from Simeon. He's a power forward. I really like him. He can shoot the ball from the perimeter a little bit. He's the guy they're looking at in 2012. And then in 2013, along with Jabari, they're looking at a kid named Kendrick Nunn, who's a left-handed shooter. He killed it on their national TV game against Lew Wallace, and I was very impressed with him. And then Whitney Young, obviously, the key man for them is Big Tommy Hamilton. Hamilton's a beast. I mean, he's 6'10" already at 16 years old. He's just unbelievable, and his skill set is very high for a kid his age. And he's working more on the interior now, and that's something I was concerned with at an early age with Tommy. Was he wanted to drift toward the perimeter, but now he's going more on the interior and dominating there. He's rebounding at a high level. Also on that Whitney Young team, they have 2 2014 prospects who Illinois is very serious on, and they've offered both, in fact, in Paul White and Jahil Okafor. Jahil Okafor is a kid I really like. I think he could be the #1 player in that class nationally. Reminds me a lot of Jared Sullinger, 6'9" post player, great skill set, back to the basket. He knows he's a power forward / center, and he's going to go down there and dominate. Paul White's a small forward from Whitney Young that I really like in that 2014 class. That is versatile. He can play the 2, the 3. He's really long. He's really athletic, and I think he's a kid Illinois is going to have a serious shot at in that class.
Well, that's our insight on Illinois basketball. I want to thank you guys for checking us out. For Scott Burgess, I'm Josh Lush, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.